What's going on, everybody? Alex here, Nickens Lawn and Landscape. Hope you guys are all doing well. I wanted to pop in here today and try to answer some questions, or follow up on some questions, I guess I can say, on the Bobcat MT85. Now, if you've been following us on Instagram, Facebook, or just here on YouTube, you may know that we used to have a Bobcat MT52. We had that one for about 4 years. And it was a great machine. I loved it, loved everything about it. And this MT85 is very, very similar to the Bobcat MT52. And if you've been following us, like I said, you also may know that we did demo a ditch witch and we did demo a Toro dingo before we bought this Bobcat MT52. So if you're looking for info on these three machines, any of these three machines really, this should be a good video for you, and hopefully I'll be able to point out a few things that led us in the direction of this Bobcat. So if you're in the market for one of these machines, chances are you're probably a construction worker, landscape worker, something along those lines. You're doing some kind of work outside, obviously, and you need to be moving material, and you want to do it in somewhat of a quick time, right? You don't want to be doing it with a wheelbarrow or by a bucket or however else you would do it. And when it comes to footprint, to be able to move the amount of material that these stand-on skid loaders can move and do that minimal of damage, and I will say this about all three of them, none of them really do that much damage when it comes to landscaping, and like I said, when it comes to the work that these machines can actually do, the work that they can get done versus the destruction or the damage that they do is basically nothing. It's very, very minimal. And if it is really wet or something and you got to run in and out of someone's lawn, you may have to do a little bit of work. But if it's, you know, any sort of dry conditions, you really don't have to do anything at all. You may scuff a couple of spots of grass, but that's nothing that a little bit of seed and water won't take care of. So as far as what these machines are capable of, and I guess the downside of them, or the not good part about them, there really isn't one. They're just excellent, excellent machines, and if you're in construction, you're in landscaping, hardscaping, pools, tree work, anything along those lines, these machines are excellent. And if you're not up to par on these machines, or you don't know what they're capable of, and you're in one of these industries, you better sit tight. And real quick, the prices on these units. So for the Ditch Witch SK1050, you're somewhere in the 36, 37. The Ditch Witch, I think it's the 800, the SK800, you're looking at like 27, 28. The Toro Dingo is 39 or 40, and the Bobcat is 27. So ours was a demo. We paid less than that. It had 200 hours on it, and we paid in the 22 range. So you can get them cheaper, but that's pretty much the prices, the MSRP on them. So for those of you guys that are interested, I definitely wanted to include that in here. Guys, we all know that animals can get separation anxiety, so I like to leave my cats together. All right, I did a little whipping around there to show you how fast this thing is, but really what it came down to, guys, for us was just the reliability of the machine and the dealer support. All three machines are really close. I've got some footage of all three, as you have seen, and we ran all three for an extended period of time, or more than a few hours, let's put it that way. We were able to put some hours on each machine and actually test one and actually see which one that we would want. And in my honest opinion, was the Toro really was the lowest one, and that was kind of obvious. And that was the TX1000, I believe, and it did have more hours on it, so it was a little more rattly and things like that, but it just doesn't seem to be built as heavy as the other two. The Ditch Witch and the Bobcat were very close. There was one thing on the Ditch Witch that I really liked that I have never seen on a machine of that nature, or of the digging dirt nature, and it doesn't have any grease fittings. Now, to me, yeah, some of you guys are going, what? Yeah, it doesn't have any grease fittings. It's got these, I think they called it like a carbide or something, some kind of special pin basically, and the pin's in there and it has bushings, and that all wears down really slowly and you don't have any grease. So right off the bat, to me, what that says is way less maintenance. Greasing, if you add it up, how much you grease the machine, it adds up. You end up spending quite a bit of time doing it, and not to mention that grease costs money. So right off the bat, that was what I initially thought about that. But at the same time, you think, you know, how can you be moving something that much in these conditions and not have to grease it? It just seems like it just doesn't seem real. And maybe it's new technology, maybe that's what they're all gonna go to, I don't know. But that was one thing that really stood out in the difference between the Bobcat and the Ditch Witch. And it was, you know, maintenance related, but we do all of our own maintenance. We don't take our machines in unless we get a free service. So yeah, we do all that stuff. I'm the one that greases them usually, so it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of grease, and you get grease all over you and you got grease all over your machine. So that was something that was a lot different. But as far as the machine in a whole, I think that the Bobcat is just built a little bit more simple. Now we did have the Ditch Witch 1050, which was the little bit bigger one, but I think that's probably the route that we would have wanted to go if we were going to go with the Ditch Witch. And it has, you know, it has a digital keypad, and your throttle is a button, and you know, it just more advanced, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But for me, like I said, we do all of our own maintenance. I want simple, I want easy, I want quick, I want to be able to diagnose, and I can't diagnose a computer. So I really just, all in all, felt most comfortable going with the Bobcat. When everything was said and done, I pretty much threw the Toro out right away. I knew I wasn't going to get one of those, and the Toro is actually the most expensive, which to me was, I don't get it, but Toro's most expensive, and the Toro tracks too. Someone leave a comment down here and weigh in on this, because I know someone has the answer to this question. But the tracks are about this thin, which is excellent if you're going across someone's fluffy nice grass. But if you got to get in some rocks and you got to, or some asphalt or whatever, and you got to get in and start doing some real work, they just seem very flimsy to me. So that was one thing about the Toro that really stood out to me, was the tracks. They were like smooth tracks. It was kind of weird. But someone weigh in on that. Leave it down in the comments. I know other people are going to want to know this question too. And I'm just rambling on here, guys, random thoughts, but I'm trying to think about anything during this process that stood out to me between these three. Those are a few of the things. The Toro does have a different type lift system. It's got like a vertical lift, which it did extend out a little bit further. But to be honest, I think the difference that it stood out, you could just get by having a bigger bucket, or a bucket that extended out a little bit further. And the Ditch Witch had a bucket that was like that extended out quite a bit. This Bobcat bucket is pretty much just like a standard Bobcat bucket is. I mean, it's nothing, you know, it's just like the full-size machine. I think, you know, most of your angles and stuff are pretty close to the same. But yeah, like I said, I'm just rambling on here, but I'm trying to come up with anything that crossed my mind that stood out to me. So let's look over this Bobcat for those of you guys that don't know what these look like and what they have to offer. So here's your control panel. You've got your parking brake up here. Key is right there. You got some switches right there. You've got your gauges up over here, which is temp, battery, and fuel. You've got a couple warning lights here, so keep an eye on those. Hour meter, ours has 253 hours. We bought it as a demo. This one is your throttle. So like I said, I love having a regular throttle that has a cable instead of having buttons on the Ditch Witch. I didn't really like that. And then you got your two joysticks. One does the drive, one does the bucket. So very, very simple machine, very straightforward, super similar to the Bobcat MT52, which, like I said, I ran like a dog for about 4 years, and that MT52 never let me down. So it did have a couple issues here and there, but it never left me broke down on a job site. So that, to me, Win, win, win. And to me, again, this is very similar to that, so why would I switch it up? But I did want to see what my options were if I was going to switch it up. We're talking about a lot of money here, guys, and you don't want to just go out and buy something because that's what you think is right. Hold on a second, I gotta set this down to prop this hood up. All right, so I wanted to pop this up just to show you guys how simple it is in here. It is tight, of course, but I mean, what do you think? What do you think builds all the power in this little machine? They gotta have a decent sized engine in here. So it is a Kubota engine. I think it is a 24 horse, 25. I don't know, it doesn't say up here, but I don't know if it says which Kubota it is. D902. So yeah, I think that's the number that you would want. But it's a good little Kubota engine, but you got all your goodies right here. You got all your fill, so you got your fuel right here, got your air filter, coolant, and that's pretty much it. Your dipstick, your old dipsticks right here. So it's very simple to get to everything. Your hydraulic pumps right in there, and then your hydraulic filter, you get to that from back here. But I'll open this real quick just to show you. So there's your hydraulic filter right there, the little white one. But you can see, if I get sideways here, you can see plenty of daylight through there. So very easy to access stuff here. You got your battery right there. You can monitor your hydraulic filter or your hydraulic fluid right there. And that's about it. Very, very simple, straightforward, yet tough design. I like these a lot. These tracks look thin, okay, so you see that? Looks thin on here, right? Well, the Dingo was probably half of that, I would say. And I like this too, how open this is, being able to clean all this stuff out. It makes it very easy. I will say greasing these bottom rollers isn't the most fun thing to do, but it's got to be done. It's maintenance, and like I said, who knows? They may go to a no grease solution, or that may get thrown out the window and not work at all. But that is my random spiel on stand-on skid loaders. That's pretty much what you're looking at, guys. Like I said, the Bobcat to me was just more simple, rugged, meant to last design. Let's call it that. Proven design, because like I said, it is a lot of the features here, a lot of the metal, the structure is the exact same as it was on the MT52 and MT55. So the MT85 is already, even though it's a newer unit, a newer model, a lot of these pieces and parts have been proven time and time again, and proven to myself. Like I said, I had a 52, so there it is, the Bobcat MT85. I hope if you guys are in the market for a stand-on skid loader, or going to be in the near future, or if you just like skid loaders and you wanted to watch this, I hope this video helped you out. I hope I pointed out a few things and maybe help lead you in the right direction when the time comes for you, or if the time comes for you. But so I wanted to put this out there, guys, because I do personally have experience with this stuff. I just went through all this, and I wanted to make the video while it's still somewhat fresh in my mind and try to help you guys out if you're going to be in the market. All right, guys, as always, appreciate all your support, whether that be on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube, whatever. We get emails, everything like that. So if you support us in any way, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss this stuff. I'll see you in the next one.